It's time to wake up.
This is Snowman in the Morning on the Arena Sports Network.
Did you not get the memo?
Let's get busy.
Trying something a little different this morning. My producer isn't going to like it, but we're going to try it anyway. And if not, we'll just make a quick switch. Everything seems to be sounding good. So, let's get going. Good morning! I'm sorry about yesterday. A lot of things happened Sunday night, which led to the absence of SITM yesterday. Snowman in the Morning back on this Tuesday, July 1st. It is the 1st of July. Can y'all believe it? 6 months of 2014 is in the book. And, well, did you get a lot done? Did you try to get a lot done? I hope you did. Hope you had and my producer's in my ear already, being told, go with the original setup, so we're going to take care of that right now. Wanted to try something different, but he didn't like that, so let's get adjusted. And there we go. This does sound a little better. And there's one little connection that I need to get for the studio. He doesn't know that yet, but I'm going to get it anyway. Snowman in the Morning, presented by LaporteCountyLife.com. LaPorte County Life, have you heard the good news? You can find us on Twitter. Go to twitter.com/SIT Morning. Tweet us at SIT Morning. And Facebook.com/Snowman in the Morning. Like I said, it's Tuesday, July 1st. NBA free agency, NHL free agency. Let me thank Mike Green for hopping on with me yesterday during the afternoon locker room. He's going to hop on again with me today, and I hope to have my buddy Keith Myers ride shotgun for the second half of the show. Michael Ramos is scheduled to come on this week as well. This morning, we're going to talk a couple of weird occurrences. And speaking of occurrences, there's an occurrence right now that is going to be happening later this morning, which is going to set the city of Chicago on its ears. And I'm going to have a friend tell you about it because he's on the hotline with me right now. I've been waiting so patiently. Rusty Silber is on the line with me right now. Good morning, Rusty. You're all dried out?
Good morning. I'm trying to get my paddle boat out and put out all the water here in the backyard. Or maybe the basement's got much. I don't know. But there's one thing that I think a lot of people want to get rid of this morning, and that is the month of June. I heard it was like the wettest month of June around here in Chicago. So
yeah, June needed to go bye-bye.
Oh, last night really was the kind of like the icing on the cake, wasn't it?
Don't remind me. Ay, ay, ay.
Well, let's talk about the good things.
Yes,
we'll
please.
Talk about World Cup soccer. We'll talk about baseball here. But good morning, Brian, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday, Rusty's Morning Wrap-Up, presented by Woodforest Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. Jake Arrieta keeps showing that he can pitch in the majors. His effort last night was so close to near perfect. Arrieta's no-hit the Red Sox at Fenway Park that lasted until 2 outs in the 8th inning. Stephen Drew broke up the no-hit bid with a base hit to right field. Arrieta threw the one-hitter, and it comes 2-0 shutout over the Red Sox. Hector Rodon earned his 10th save of the season. Nate Scherholtz hit a 2-run home run. Cubs will take on the Red Sox again at Fenway this evening. Edwin Jackson throws against Clay Buchholz. White Sox tried to play against the LA Angels at U.S. Oil Field, but never got going with the rain and the severe weather last night. They will play a twilight doubleheader starting at 4 o'clock this afternoon against the Angels. Hector Noesi opposes Garrett Richards in the opener. John Banks tosses against Jared Weaver in game number 2. World Cup soccer, Brazil, USA gets their shot against Belgium in the knockout stage this afternoon at 3 o'clock. USA forward Josie Altidore will be available from his hamstring injury, which happened in the opening game of pool play. By the way, a viewing party that was supposed to be at Grant Park has been moved to Soldier Field. Gates open at 1:30 with free admission. Make sure you get there early. Take public transportation. Also, Argentina plays Switzerland at 11 o'clock this morning. Matches from Monday. Oh, were they good. France shut out Nigeria 2-0. Germany got by Algeria 2-1 in extra time. NBA free agency officially began at 11 p.m. last night. Carmelo Anthony will be meeting up with the Bulls here today. Could there be an opportunity of him coming to Chicago? Chances are there, but probably not going to happen.
No.
Some rumors have said he may end up staying in New York. Of course, the biggest rumor has him going to Miami with LeBron James.
Oh, God.
Also, former Bulls player Luol Deng is interested in joining the Dallas Mavericks. That's amongst the rumors that are flying around. Of course, depending on where players go, things will settle into the dust in probably the next few days. Bucks have brought Jason Kidd over to Milwaukee to be the new head coach as they gave away a couple of draft picks, and they fired their previous coach, Larry Drew. Tennis, Wimbledon, Novak Djokovic and Andy Murray won their fourth-round matches. Caroline Wozniacki and Agnieszka Radwanska were both upset on the women's side.
I don't even want to try to pronounce that.
WNBA, Chicago Sky continue their 5-game road trip, take on the Sparks in L.A. late this evening. Elena Delle Donne, though, isn't with the team. She's still trying to recover from Lyme disease. And lastly, Brian, this is kind of a sad story. Former Chicago Bears running back Adrian Peterson and his wife received devastating news when the couple's 6-year-old son, AJ, the eldest of 4 children, was diagnosed with inoperable brain tumor known as diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma. It affects children between the ages of 5 and 7 and makes up 10 to 15% of all brain tumors in children.
Oh, no.
Go through all that. Rusty Silber for Arena Sports Network, and don't forget to visit Woodforce Bank at woodforce.com for more information.
Oh, man, let's hope they and AJ really pull through all this, because it's going to be a fight and a half ahead. Thanks a lot, Rusty. Appreciate it.
Have a great day. Bye.
Rusty Silber for Rusty's Morning Wrap. And when we come back, did y'all notice something strange this past Sunday? I know my producer wants to answer that question, but I'll answer that a different way that's going to get on his nerves. I'll tell you about it when we come back. Snowman in the Morning, presented by LaPorteCountyLife.com. Find us on Twitter at twitter.com/SIT Morning. Back in the deuce.
Have you heard the good news about a company that started 4 years ago and worked at a relentless pace based entirely upon one simple premise? Have you heard the good news about a place you can go to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved? Have you heard the good news that you yourself can share stories about this same theme to others in your community? That place is LaPorteCountyLife.com. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can celebrate a company that had a crazy dream based on a belief that positive breeds positive, and that people want to read, hear, and watch stuff about good people. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can go to a place to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved. Want to see more? Want to read more? Want to hear more? Then go to LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news?
It began as a promise. Son, we're going on a road trip. That promise has lasted over 30 years. Our dream is to visit every national park in America. It's been thousands of miles, countless bumps along the way, but we'll just keep moving on, pursuing this amazing dream.
Visit DrassichAgency.com or call 219-945-3040 and ask Joel Drassich how you can get all of your insurance under one roof.
Chow down with the Italian collection at Subway.
Delicioso.
Try the Mongelissa's Chicken Pizziola Melt. A fresh take on Italian with tender, juicy chicken, zesterific pepperoni, and plenty of our signature recipe marinara sauce.
Perfecto.
Mamma mia!
And taste the amore with the Meatball Pepperoni Melt. A kickin' combination of Italian-style meatballs and pepperoni on your favorite freshly baked bread.
Only at Subway.
And only for a limited time.
Don't miss out.
Subway. Eat fresh.
Now what's that? I say, now what's that boy up to? Better check on it, yeah.
You're listening to Snowman in the Morning.
Ask a silly question, get a silly answer.
Snowman in the Morning is back. We had to make a couple of other switches, but we got them done. Snowman in the Morning back at you on this Tuesday, 1st of July. And we are presented by LaPorteCountyLife.com, as is all of our programming here on the Arena Sports Network, presented by LaPorteCountyLife.com. LaPorte County Life, have you heard the good news? And this morning, we are also presented by Woodforest Bank. Woodforest Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. Check them out at woodforest.com. Did y'all notice something weird on Sunday? The weird incident that I am speaking about is that there was not a Cubs game on Sunday. They had their first Sunday off in 82 years. 82 years between Sundays off for the Cubs. And Cubs president Theo Epstein said, jokingly, quote, "That's unheard of. We already have some family plans for that day. Maybe this can become a regular thing. Let's play 2 Ernie Banks style Saturday and enjoy a nice day of rest on Sunday. But no, it will be interesting," close quote. According to the Tribune, it was announced in February that the Cubs would play a split doubleheader on Saturday, which was against the Washington Nationals, and be off on Sunday. The last time the move was made in consideration of the city's concern over neighborhood traffic with Sunday's annual Pride Parade in Wrigleyville. The last time the Cubs did not have a scheduled, and my producer's laughing already. The last time the Cubs did not have a scheduled game on Sunday was June 19, 1932. That year, the Cubs and the Giants played a doubleheader on Saturday, the 18th, that had the Sunday off before playing in Philadelphia on Monday. So there was no Cub game on Sunday. There were no Cub fans around on Sunday. There was no Cubby Blue around here, especially around our studios here in Glenview, here on Sunday. I got to tell you, it was the quietest Sunday I had in a long time. I bet you Wrigleyville was packed to the hilt, still with the Pride Parade going on and all. So what do you think they did? They filled up the bars and they just drank just because. Right here in Glenview, it was nice and quiet. For once, it was nice and quiet. And my producer, Voody, who I joke with a lot on the air, I love him dearly, he is a Cub fan. And he had this look on his face on Sunday when he said, "What time do the Cubs play today?" And I looked at him, and I had this wicked look on my face. And he said, "What are you going to say to me now?" I told him the Cubs are off today. And he went, "What?" I said, "Yeah, the Cubs are off today. They played a doubleheader yesterday against the Nationals." And I will say this in his defense. He was out running around on Saturday. We both were, for the most part, out running around on Saturday. And he said, why don't they play today? I said, they played a doubleheader Saturday. And he looked at me and he said, "Well, how did they do?" And again, in his defense, he was running around, didn't get a chance to watch the Cubs on Saturday. And I looked at him and I said, "Do you really want an answer to that question?" And I think he was going to cry when I said that. And I said, "No, Voody, you don't want to know how this turned out." And he goes, "Oh boy," and he dropped his head and he walked away. And we came in here to the studio. We were going to record some sound bites to run during this week, but he was so sad. I mean, I haven't picked on him in a while, so I'm going to pick on him this morning. Listen, folks, he is one of the guys, see,
Oh, would you bring this to him, please? Thanks. He's one of these kind of Cub fans that is hardcore. And I told y'all my many adventures of running into hardcore Cub fans and how crazy they can be, and I mean that lovingly. Saturday, and I'm not making this up, folks, I had a meeting to go to Saturday. When I came back and we did our running around, he was dressed in all Cubs gear, which is how I met him in the first place. And I said, what is going on here? He says, what do you think? I'm sporting my Cubs gear in front of you. I said, don't do that. He said, why not? I can do it if I want to. I said, well, not anymore. And now he's crept in here. Dude, you know you're not supposed to be in here. What are you doing? Oh, that's what he's messing with my toys again, folks. Oh, that's what you're doing. Now get out. You see what I have to go through every morning? So the Cubs had their first Sunday off in 82 years, and last night they won. And I also spotted something else. A vote, courtesy of the Chicago Tribune. And now my producer's back behind me, and he's really going to laugh when I say this. There's a vote in the Tribune that says, quite simply, is Wrigley Field really worth renovating? I'm going to pose this to the fans. I mean, what do y'all do with a stadium like that? This is not the question of the day, but I'm going to pose this to the fans and let's get the fans interactive on this. Let's get the fans interactive on this, and let's see what their responses would be. Is Wrigley Field really worth renovating? Y'all already know my answer to that. No. Blow it up. Be done with it. I mean, I am going to sound so completely terrible when I say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. Will y'all just blow up Wrigley Field and be done with it, please? It'll probably go down as one of the few. It'll probably go down as one of the few stadiums to never ever see a championship. And well, wait a minute. I'll take that back. It saw a National League championship when the Marlins clinched. But that's our question for this segment. Is Wrigley Field really worth renovating? Now, I must share a couple of Wrigley Field stories. And the first time I was there was 1998. And I made 2 appearances there. One to call a high school championship game with, I want to say, Simeon and Clemente that went 11 innings. And Alvin Washington was with me. And we sat behind home plate. we sat behind home plate with a microphone and a recorder. This is before we figured out how to do live events. With a microphone and a recorder, we recorded all 11 innings. I thank God I had enough tape on me at the time. But we did that one. And then later that summer, I got invited to go to a Cubs game when they were playing you ready for this? Montreal Expos, who are now the Washington Nationals. The young lady I was with at the time invited me out to a Cubs game. She says, you have to experience Wrigley Field. I'm thinking, lady, I've been here all my life, and I don't want to experience Wrigley Field. Are you bleeping nuts? And then, of course, she gave me the lure. She says, there'll be free food. Okay, you're on. You got me. So I went to Wrigley Field, went into this. They've since renovated. Remember, this is 1998. I went into the Ticketmaster suite, which is where she worked at the time, and I stayed in the suite. And they said her and her friends were sitting around, yap, not even paying attention to the game. I'm watching the game on the big screen behind me, watching the debacle that was happening. And she comes in and she says, don't you want to come outside and enjoy the weather? Dear, it is hot. It is sticky. It's nice and cool in here. I got brats. I got hot dogs. I got burgers. And most importantly, I got beer. So y'all have fun out there. I'm staying in here. So what do you think happened? She dragged all her friends inside the suite. Ruined my fun. Of course, I'm joking as I say that. Ruined my fun. All right? But surprisingly, the Cubs actually wound up winning that game. So, like I said, surprisingly, the Cubs wound up winning. My producer just sent me a note saying it was the Expos. Oh, really? How do you explain the Florida Marlins? Oh, he's going to hit me for that one. And on that, I better take a break. We'll pause for a break. When we come back, Joel Embiid gets smashed on Twitter. Why? Some people really need to learn how to control what they say to someone on Twitter that was simply expressing an opinion. I'll explain in a deuce.
Some statistics are surprising. Some are unbelievable. And some are simply unacceptable. Right now, nearly 30% of U.S. students aren't finishing high school. Nearly 30%. And that's the average. In many places, it's even higher than that. And fixing it is a responsibility that we all share. This is President Obama, and I urge everyone, not just parents, but friends and neighbors and family members, to take responsibility for encouraging the high school students in your communities, to support them, challenge them, push them a little, and do whatever it takes to help them make it through. Because this is one statistic we simply can't afford to ignore.
You can do your part by going to boostup.org and sending an email, a text message, or even a wake-up call to a student at risk of dropping out. Go to boostup.org and provide the boost that's needed to make it to graduation. A message from the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Have you ever wanted your own phone app but thought it was too expensive? Here is something even better. The best custom mobile page QR system in the world, designed for smartphones, iPhones, and tablets. Have the business card of the future for our mobile world. It includes your own customizable mobile page with unlimited flexibility, your contact info, YouTube channel, videos, events, specials, audio, and more, all on your mobile page. Your own back office so you can make real-time, unlimited updates and changes as often and as much as you want. One code is all you will ever need as you change anything in real time from your back office. This is your business card on all ads, Facebook, t-shirts, flyers, and doorways everywhere. All of this for $99.90 a year plus a $3 payment fee. Visit www.qr2015.net for more information or call 312-802-1208. That's 312-802-1208. The future is in your hands. Call or visit online today.
Now what's that? I say, now what's that boy up to? Better check on it, yeah.
You're listening to Snowman in the Morning.
Ask a silly question, get a silly answer.
Back in your ears, 26 beyond the hour. Wait a minute, I got to talk to somebody real quick. All right, here we go. I had to send a message to somebody. We are live and smoking on this Tuesday, July 1st. And let me say something. Thank you, Lord, for letting me see another month. And for those who woke up along with me, we all thank you for letting us see another month. Now, I wanted to talk about this story before the NBA draft, but never got a chance to do it because some other things got in the way and some other subjects that were hot and heavy. We needed to take care of that. Joel Embiid, who was drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers, he sent a tweet out after Portugal scored in the final moments of stoppage time last week to salvage a draw with the United States and avoid elimination from the tournament. Although, and this is a story according to Yahoo, so I'm going to do some pieces about that and then give my opinion. While most soccer fans in the U.S. were frustrated when superstar Cristiano Ronaldo crossed to Silvestre Varela for the equalizing goal, one athlete making his own big news this week found great joy in the moment. Kansas center and now Philadelphia 76ers prospect Joel Embiid, a native of Cameroon, keep that in mind, who has lived in the United States since the summer of 2012, tweeted congratulations to the Portugal captain and Real Madrid star. That is when all hell broke loose. He was celebrating a happy moment through what's been a tough week. Not surprisingly, an athlete known primarily for his achievements in NCAA basketball and potential impact in the NBA received a lot of criticism for celebrating a less than ideal outcome for the United States, which tells me a lot of people are so cynical in this situation. Sean Donnelly started the avalanche when he tweeted, quote, praying the Sixers pass on this guy. Fellow goes by the name of Mouse Cop said, if it wasn't for the USA, you'd still be living in a third world country. Show some respect. Are you kidding me? Story reads, it's hard to fault Embiid too much for his comment. He's not a U.S. citizen. He counts himself as a Real Madrid fan and only really needed to root for the U.S. if we believe that going through 2 years of high school in Florida and making a name for himself at Kansas obligates himself to bleed red, white, and blue. I suppose there's an argument for just such a position. This story was written by Eric Freeman. I suppose there's such an argument for such a position, but it also seems unfair and wildly paternalistic, as if he had no prior life experiences or rooting interests before moving to the country. The kid should be able to support whichever teams and players he likes. To Embiid's credit, he hasn't felt the need to apologize for praising Ronaldo. That's good. Maybe that's because at least a few people have agreed with his tweet. One reads, gotta be your supporter after this dude. Another says, take quieto. Oh, man. Okay. I want to go back to this. I want to go back to the two tweets that read, praying the Sixers pass on this guy, and the other that read, if it wasn't for the USA, you'd still be living in a third world country. Show some respect. He showed some respect when he came over here to play basketball, you dumbass. How about that? He had respect enough to know that his opportunity came over here in the United States. So he's over here, and he's going to get a chance to make a living doing what he loves to do. So that should be a middle finger to you two who wrote the tweet, who tweeted what you did. All right? A native of Cameroon, a Real Madrid fan. Weren't we taught here in the U.S. to root for any team that we want to? Weren't we taught that? Especially, listen, soccer has really come alive here in the U.S., okay? I have a couple of dear friends, Brett Hill and Brett Myers, that watch soccer mostly during the summer all the time, okay? And they have different teams across the globe that they root for. Okay, that's no problem. So why are people getting upset when Joel Embiid did this? Y'all need to get a life, okay?
Y'all need to just leave Joel Embiid alone. And the reason, this is my theory, the reason they came after Embiid like this is because he was an NBA prospect. Yeah, if you expected him to not get drafted because of that tweet, you were sadly mistaken. All right? People need to just leave others alone and let the real fans root for whom they want to. All right? This angers me more than anything else. This really angers me more than anything else because it just shows once again, and I said this before, how cynical some fans can be. And it also shows, and I'm going to go ahead and say this, how stupid some people can be. With the advent of social media, it's allowed us to become more social, but it also has allowed us to become more stupid. Me included. I've said some dumb things via social media. All right? I'm not excluding myself from that equation. But everything has since died down, and I will make my preface again. I didn't get a chance to do this story before the draft. I wanted to, didn't get a chance to, because of a conflict that arose that we had to take care of, which we did. But it just goes to show that there are people that are not afraid to root for the teams that they want to root for, be it inside the United States or outside of the United States. That's what you need to realize. And because of the fact that Joel Embiid did that and he still got drafted, I say kudos to him. And I say kudos to the real fans of sports, no matter what team you root for, be it here in this country or across the country. End of story. End of ball game. Game, set, match. Pause for a break. When we come back, got some more stuff for you as we continue here on Snowman in the Morning, presented by LaPorteCountyLife.com. I'll be back in a deuce, and I got a real good story for you. I'll be back.
At Gaucho's Brazilian Steakhouse, guests are immersed in a heritage started long ago in the Rio Grande do Sul region of Brazil. Amid the relaxing, intimate atmosphere, Gauchos roam from table to table with skewers of slow-roasted meats that are cooked over an open mesquite flame. These delicacies are served tableside, creating a bountiful feast and a unique dining experience. We feature an all-you-care-to-eat selection of 12 grilled meats that include top sirloin, picanha, chicken parmesan, chicken wrapped in bacon, pork tenderloin, pork parmesan, filet wrapped in bacon, Brazilian beef tender, turkey, lamb, and the chef's choice. With traditional flair, the Gauchos slice portions from skewers of our feasts of meats. For that extra special dining experience, Gauchos also offers a nightly seafood feast that includes crab legs, fried shrimp, sauteed shrimp, perch, tilapia, and the catch of the day. As is customary, guests can have as little or as much as they want. There's no need to drive to Chicago to find a restaurant with authentic other country flair. We're located on the historic Lincoln Highway in beautiful Valparaiso, Indiana, just minutes from I-65, I-80, and many major state roads. Gaucho's is open daily for dinner at 4 p.m. and for lunch on Saturday and Sunday at 11 a.m. For reservations, call 219-759-1100. That's 219-759-1100. Gaucho's Brazilian Steakhouse of Valparaiso. Have you had the Gaucho's experience?
At Strachan Van Til, everything we do is designed around you. From the uncompromising freshness down every aisle to the unbeatable quality you'll always find. It's the very best selection from choice meats to bakery. And getting honest value every single day. All with the friendly personal service and the savings that you deserve. That's built around you. That's Strachan Van Til. Visit svtgroceries.com today.
Upgrade your ride and lower your costs with a certified pre-owned vehicle from Sowers Ford. With a lower price and lower payments, you can lower your cost of driving in a vehicle that's new to you. Get a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 172-point inspection, 24-hour roadside assistance, and 3 months of Sirius XM satellite radio. 2.9% financing available to qualified buyers. You'll drive for less at Sowers Ford. Sowers Ford Lincoln, 3930 Franklin, Michigan City, 219-879-5381. Or visit us at SowersFord.com.
Now what's that? I say now now, what's that boy up to? Better check on it, yeah.
You're listening to Snowman in the Morning.
Ask a silly question, get a silly answer.
Snowman in the Morning is back, 37 beyond the hour. Got one more story to hit really quick, and I'm going to get some help. We are presented by LaPorteCountyLife.com. LaPorte County Life, have you heard the good news? And we are also presented by... Ooh! Voody, I told you not to smoke in the production booth. But I'm going to beat him up in a minute. We are also presented by SowersFord.com, by Sowers Ford Lincoln. Now I can't get my script straight because of him. Presented by Sowers Ford, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. Visit SowersAuto.com for more information. You know what, Voody? I'm going to come in that booth and I'm going to clobber you for smoking in the booth. You know better. He knows I'm kidding. Voody doesn't smoke. He doesn't smoke. I'm kidding as I say that. Okay. Apparently, aside of it being free agency season for the players in the NBA, it's also trading and free agency season for the coaches. Adrian Wojnarowski made an appearance on the Dan Patrick Show, and Dan Patrick's opening question, which I think is very, very valid, he asked Adrian if it was a power play by Jason Kidd or if Brooklyn did not like his loyalty. Again, this is courtesy of the Dan Patrick Show. Here was Adrian's answer.
Dan, he can't help himself. This is who he is. It never ends well with him. Go through his career. Go look at the places he left as a player. Almost always there was acrimony or some behavior by him that led to someone getting rid of him. He had a great situation there. He was very well regarded by ownership, and he couldn't help himself. He had to go in, pull a power play, demand control of basketball operations. He was told no, and now this Bucks thing has, he's close with the Bucks owner, has a prior, has a long-standing relationship with him, and listen, I think he'll come in as the coach. I think he'll end up running the organization sooner than later, and then you know what'll happen? That'll blow up, and he'll be on his way somewhere else. This is, to me, it's disgraceful to interview for a job when there's already somebody in the job. Larry Drew was one of his coaches in New Jersey. To go and sit and interview for a guy's job when there's somebody still sitting in the job, it's a real violation of the coach's code, to me, in any profession. And it speaks a lot to who Kidd is.
All right, so who do the Nets target?
Lionel Hollins was somebody that the Nets had a lot of interest in when the Kidd thing was very sideways, was very wobbly early on in Brooklyn this year, and they stayed with Kidd. They righted the ship there and played well down the stretch, and he kept his job. But I believe Hollins, my sources tell me he's near or at the top of their list here once this Kidd agreement comes with Milwaukee, which I think could come here soon. The Nets will agree. I think the Nets will agree here sooner than later to either a second-round pick or 2 second-round picks and get this thing over with.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Thanks to the Dan Patrick Show for that. And thank you, Adrian Wojnarowski, for really exposing something. Now, I am... Oh, who the hell am I kidding? Let me just go ahead and say it. Jason Kidd, why are you being stupid? Adrian said it what the hell was that? Never mind. You hear that weird... Yeah. Wait. Did y'all hear that? Never mind.
I don't think it was something like...
Loud noises!
Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Jason Kidd, why are you being stupid? You had a great situation, as was stated, in Brooklyn. You had a great team that played well for you down the stretch and got into the playoffs and got to the second round of the playoffs. They were playing for you, you idiot. Forgive me. They were playing for you. I retract my last statement and edit it with this one. They were playing for you. Why did you pull this kind of thing? Think of what Adrian said. It's always a power play with Jason Kidd. It's always a power play with him. Want to control the basketball operations. The Nets said no. Had that been me, I'd have been, okay, I'll go back to coaching and I won't approach this again. But no. Jason Kidd wants control. It's all about control. That's always what it's been about with some of the coaches that barely get by as a coach. And I say barely in terms of Jason Kidd because of the talent that he had in Brooklyn, and he didn't maximize it. He didn't maximize it. That's the problem. So now what? Larry Drew was already the coach in Milwaukee. Larry Drew was licking his chops when Jabari Parker was drafted. And then all of a sudden, he gets booted out. Jason Kidd comes in, and Larry Drew is sitting there wondering, wait, what the hell just happened? I was the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. Who the hell is Jason Kidd to come in and steal my job? Which is basically what happened. Jason Kidd stole a job. How much do the inmates run the asylum in the NBA? And I'm not talking about just the players. I'm talking about the coaches as well. For someone as respected as a player as Jason Kidd was, he's not respected as a coach. Not anymore. And he's not going to be respected in Milwaukee. Why? Because of the way he got the job. I will go on record as saying if he lasts a year, well, no, can't say a year. If he lasts 2 years in Milwaukee, I'll be surprised. If he lasts longer than that, I'll really be surprised. It's just not fair. And, Larry Drew, who was the coach of the Hawks, he got fired from there. And now he gets fired from Milwaukee and basically shoved out of the back door. So now, what do they do in Brooklyn? Lionel Hollins is next on their list. With this story from Yahoo, they've set up a meeting with their top candidate, Lionel Hollins. Hollins has emerged as the Nets' focus in what could turn out to be a brief coaching search. He'll meet with officials in New York in the next 24 to 48 hours. He's been a strong consideration for the Nets when Kidd had gotten off to such a sluggish start this season, and there was discussion about replacing Kidd in late December. They should have done it then. Hollins brings a strong playoff disciplinary and defensive attack record from his 5 years as a Memphis Grizzlies coach. Hollins is also interviewed for the Los Angeles Lakers coaching vacancy and is still considered a finalist with leader Byron Scott. Kidd is working to bring two Nets assistants, Eric Hughes and Sean Sweeney, to Milwaukee with him. Milwaukee reached an agreement to send 2015 and 2019 second-round picks to Brooklyn to allow Kidd out of the final 2 years of his contract and become the Bucks coach. The Bucks will fire coach Larry Drew, who had been on the job for one season. New Bucks ownership had communicated nothing to Drew through the past several days of negotiations with Kidd and the Nets. That makes it worse. How do you know when your ass is on the hot seat when no one tells you? I mean, Larry Drew went through a terrible season with Milwaukee. Terrible. Now you get Jabari Parker. You're waiting to get him in the fold, and then all of a sudden you're going to be pushed out the back door? How unfair is that to Larry Drew? Only one season, and because of a somewhat big name, you know what? Milwaukee is making a mistake in doing this. Because they're going to take, and my friend Corey said this so well in a situation we dealt with at a place where my friend Corey Miggins said this so well when we dealt with a situation where we had both worked. Milwaukee, you're making a stupid mistake because you're going to take all of this money and you're going to give it to a name. You're taking all this money and you're giving it to a name. Not a coach, but a name. Jason Kidd spends 1 year in Brooklyn. 1. He was barely 6 games over 500. Do you not remember the start you got off to, Jason Kidd? Do you not remember how you and your team stumbled out of the gate? Do you not remember you signed a multi-year deal? And you're going to pull this and get an innocent coach. And I think Larry Drew is the innocent victim in all this. He's going to get an innocent coach fired, or basically has gotten an innocent coach fired because the Nets told him to shut up and stay in your lane, which is coaching. You always wanted to get into coaching, and you only use 1 season in Brooklyn. And you make this kind of move when you're not that good of a coach to begin with? Again, the Rockies start by Brooklyn. I mean, yeah, it turned out better at the end of the season. But this is crazy. Larry Drew gets ousted, or is about to get ousted, because Jason Kidd could not keep his mouth shut. And Jason Kidd could not stay in his lane for the life of him. I feel, listen, you know who I feel sad for the most, and I've mentioned his name already? I feel the worst for Larry Drew. Why? Because he didn't know all this was going on, and he's going to be pushed out of the back door when he's not even looking. How unfair is that? You give Larry Drew the worst hand ever to play. He played it. He got through the season. Now he gets a couple of aces, one of which is Jabari Parker, and he won't even be allowed to teach, coach, or mentor him. Again, Milwaukee is taking all the money that they're going to give to a coach, and they're giving it to a name. Jason Kidd, I hope you're happy. And I really hope you do succeed in Milwaukee, because if you don't, it's going to be your ass that's going to be pushed out of the back door next. I'm not going to wish any kind of ill will on the Bucks. But after this move, Jason, you better be right. That's all I'll say. You better be right. Because if you're not, almost every other coach is going to try to make a play like you did. And why did you want control of basketball operations anyway? What were you going to do with control of basketball operations? Did you actually, well, I can't ask if he spent time in the role, because there were and are so many people that do not spend time in roles where they try to where they wind up going. Steve Kerr being a prime example. And he did a hell of a job in Phoenix. I just don't like how ugly this situation has turned. I really don't like how ugly this situation is going to get, and it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. The question of the day is next.
Chow down with the Italian collection at Subway.
Delicioso.
Try the Mongellis's Chicken Pizziola Melt, a fresh take on Italian with tender, juicy chicken, zesterific pepperoni, and plenty of our signature recipe marinara sauce.
Perfecto.
Mamma mia!
And taste the amore with the Meatball Pepperoni Melt, a kickin' combination of Italian-style meatballs and pepperoni on your favorite freshly baked bread.
Only at Subway.
And only for a limited time.
Don't miss out.
Subway. Eat fresh.
Get your best price on Ford trucks, Focus, F-150, Explorer, Escape, and Lincoln MKS, MKT, MKX, MKZ, as well as Fiesta, Fusion, Taurus, Mustang, Navigator, and all other new Ford Lincoln vehicles at the all-new Sowers Ford in Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. We offer new and used Ford Lincoln vehicles, parts, service, and used car. If you are in Northwest Indiana or near Michigan City, LaPorte, Hobart, Burns Harbor, Valparaiso, Chesterton, South Bend, or Portage, there is no comparison to the other dealers around town. We are about to earn your business with top quality service and the most competitive pricing in Indiana. Stop by today at 3930 Franklin Street in Michigan City or give us a call at 219-879-5381. That's 219-879-5381. Or visit us online at www.sowersauto.com. Sowers Ford Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer.
You do a lot of thinking on a bike about your life, family, your dreams. One of my dreams came to me on a bike, to open up my own shop. So what happens when you complete a dream? Well, you just start thinking of the next.
Visit DrastichAgency.com or call 219-945-3040 and ask Joel Drasich how you can get all of your insurance under one roof.
Now what's that? I say now what's that boy up to? Better check on it, yeah.
You're listening to Snowman in the Morning.
Ask a silly question, get a silly answer.
Snowman in the Morning is back, getting ready to wrap things up here on this Tuesday as we are 5 minutes before the new hour. Well, we've had a fun time. It's always a fun time talking to you, the fans, and we appreciate it. We are presented by LaPorteCountyLife.com, and we're going to get right into the question of the day, and it's presented by Gigahertz, the official computer solutions company of the Arena Sports Network. Gigahertz, and that's where we come in. Now, before I do the question of the day, it comes with a preference. You know what? And my producer's laughing at me. Preface, not preference. If I had a preference, never mind. Okay. Gigahertz question of the day is a food question, and it goes a little something like this: what's the biggest steak you've ever eaten? What is the biggest steak you have ever eaten? Follow us on Twitter and tweet your answer to @SITMorning. The letters SIT and M in morning are capital, or respond to our question on our Facebook page. What is the big? And I've heard some stories, and I'm also a fan of the show Man vs. Food, where Adam put down a 72-ounce steak. I will never, ever, ever be able to do that, even being a big man. I will never try that challenge. And the reason I won't try that challenge, not because of the size of the steak, well, I think I can put that down. But what frightens me is the shrimp cocktail, and I cannot have it because of an allergic reaction to shrimp. That's why I can't have it. Or I'd try that challenge in a heartbeat. What is this card I'm being handed here? Oh, only a few minutes left. Okay, that's what I'm being handed. You know, when my producer gets on me about time so much, okay. That's our Gigahertz question of the day. What is the biggest doggone steak you've ever eaten? And I mean the absolute. Rusty gave me an answer. Prime rib. There you go, Rusty. The biggest steak, and I'll answer my own question, then we'll get out of here. The biggest steak I've ever eaten was a 32-ounce steak, and I did it in Minnesota. In fact, I did it twice within a week. In the Mall of America, there is I don't know if it's still there. This was 2001 when this happened. There's a restaurant which was wonderful. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a secret restaurant up in the Mall of America. And Jesus, y'all, wait. I'm sorry. I got excited when I started hearing all these sounds. It was in the Mall of America, and was dating a lady named Naomi, and she showed me this restaurant. We went in, we ate like horses, and then we sat there for a couple of hours. But I killed a 32-ounce steak, and I did it twice in a week. And I'm being given a signal by Voodie, so we better get ready to get out of here. So here's the question. What's the biggest steak you've ever eaten? And thank you, Rusty, for the first response. With that thought in mind...
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Oh, man. Wasn't that great, kid?
Folks, do not forget, the second day of our coverage of the NIBR District Tournament comes to you live from Chesterton, Indiana. Afternoon Locker Room will come to you live from Chesterton, Indiana. We start everything at 3 p.m. Central Time this afternoon. Mike Green will ride shotgun with me for the second half of the show, talking the Blackhawks Renaissance and a whole lot more. Take care, everybody. Have a great morning. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. I will talk to you all this afternoon in the locker room. So long, everybody.